51, verse 4.
Amen.
The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because the Lord has anointed me to preach good tidings to the poor. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prisons to those who are bound, to proclaim the acceptance year of the Lord, and the day of vengeance of our God, to comfort all those who mourn, to console those who mourn in Zion, to give them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they may be called trees of righteousness, the planting of the Lord. I have started by mentioning the utterance of someone who said, to our forefathers, our faith was an experience. Our forefathers experienced many things. Some of the things one cannot mention them, and they are so bad in such a way that they filtered down to our fathers. And our fathers inherited them. And they also filtered down to us. It is a convenience. To us, our faith is a convenience, and to our children, our faith is a nuisance. In other words, what I'm trying to explain here is that our forefathers did terrible things in their lives, and they must have told our fathers when they saw them doing that, grow up, my child, you will see for yourself. Isn't it, Pasala? That is true. Yes. Our fathers did not tell us the consequences of what they were doing in their lives. They worshipped evil gods. They did idolatry in their lives. They did ancestral worships, and all these things brought us negative things in our lives. There are some emotions that are contained in the Bible brought about these things, and I can only mention 7 of them. They are called 7 deadly emotions. If you walk in the spirit of anger, that's one of them. If you walk in the spirit of fear, that is one of them. If you walk in the spirit of shame, that is one of them. The spirit of stress, that is also one of them. The spirit of lust is another one. Jealousy is another one. And pride. This reminds me of a certain king in the Bible, King Uzziah. He won many wars. He did everything good in the sight of God. He captured a lot of nations, and he had great strength. But one day, he came out, he left his seat on the throne, and he started walking in the streets of Judah. The people you can imagine, people were surprised. The whole king with all his clothes walking around in the streets. This is not familiar. They started gathering and they followed him. And he marched through the streets and he went straight to where the temple is, where there were about 81 prophets waiting for the celebration to start then, because they were about to burn incense in the temple. And when he arrived there, they tried to warn him, "O king, what do you want here? You are not supposed to be here. Your place is in the palace. But being arrogant, being king with so much authority, God did not give him the authority of being in the temple. He gave him the authority to be in the palace. That is all. The authority was only for the prophets. And they want him not to enter into the temple. But he was arrogant. And he took that cup, the coal and the cup, to go inside the temple to burn the incense. You know what God did with him? And at that time, it was in the Old Testament. God would strike it down one time, and it would be finished with you. And when he took that vow to go and burn the incense, God struck him right on the forehead with the disease of leprosy. And from then, he never went back to his throne. He was taken outside the courtyards, and the shack was built for him to stay there alone until his death. And when people were walking or moving, passing by his grave, they would comment and say, "Here lies a king who died of leprosy." So my question is, how would you like to be remembered when you walk in such spirits? The spirit of anger, spirit of fear, shame, stress, lust, jealousy, pride. In most instances, these things are being done behind the walls. And it is said that one day the walls will come before God on Judgment Day, and they will give testimony about our behaviors in our various homes. That is the old men, our forefathers. That is what they brought for us. But today, we are not here by mistake. It is the purpose of God that you have been saved. Today, you are no longer that old man. You have become new. You are a new man. You no longer walk according to the desires of the flesh. That thing was Alane had caused chaos in our families. Let me just illustrate something. I need to go back a little bit to one of those deadly emotions. There are many spirits. I'll choose one, that of rejection, the spirit of rejection. You find people, two couple, they are engaged with one another. The Lord blesses them with a child. The next thing that they do with the child is to abuse that little one. A child who knows no wrong. A child who did nothing wrong to them. They would start abusing that child. Some would put off the burning cigarette on the head or whatever part of the child. They put it off just like that. And the child has no one to run to. We need to understand that these children are brought here on earth to experience love, from their parents and not rejection. People do offer excuses as to why they rejected this child. It's because of the father who does not want to pay maintenance or whatever. But let the Spirit of God, the Spirit of love lead. Love your child, no matter what, in Jesus' mighty name. And God will see you through. Hallelujah.
Amen.
I say don't quit, Bazali. Parents, don't quit. Look after the children. Let them know that they have parents and they won't forsake their homes to go and stay in the field. If there is love in the home, there is warmth. Hallelujah.
Amen.
Amen. When Jesus was nailed on the cross, it is love that made him to hang on that cross. He is the all-powerful God. He could have easily stepped down from the cross. He could have easily called thousands of angels to come and protect him. But because he had you and me in mind, he did not do that. When Jesus was at the cross, the devil thought he has finished him. He had done everything to hurt him. But he did not know that there was an exchange, a divine exchange that was about to take place on the cross. Amen. Amen. I have a piece of paper here. It's like this. It's the cross. It's for us to see the divine exchange that was made at the cross on our behalf. Read as follows. Jesus was punished that we might be forgiven. We need to understand that. Jesus was wounded that we might be healed. Jesus was made sin with our sinfulness that we might be made righteous with his righteousness. Give Jesus a big hand of praise. It continues. Jesus died our death that we might receive his life. Jesus endured our poverty that we might share his abundance. Jesus bore our shame that we might share in his glory. Jesus endured our rejection that we might have his acceptance with the Father. Jesus was made a curse that we might enter into a blessing. Hallelujah. Now the Bible teaches us that you have been born again, not of a corruptible seed, but of an incorruptible, through the living and enduring word of the Lord. All men are like grass. They are like flowers in the field. All grass withers. All flowers fall. But the word of the Lord remains forever. Brethren, You are not here by mistake. You are here on this beautiful Sunday to glorify God. There are things that our forefathers did. You can trace those things in your lifestyle. You can trace them to see who you are. And those things that you do not need in your life, we are going to deal with them right now. Amen. 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 Shall we all rise? We are going to soil ourselves just for a moment in worship of God. The word of the Lord says, at the mention of the name of Jesus, all knees will bow. Let us all bow. We come down at his feet, for there is no higher calling than to be down on your feet. I want us to bury all those sinful spirits in our lives. Each and everyone knows what it is that is coming after you. Put it down at the throne of grace. Hallelujah. Shall we pray? We pray, Father God, that you remove all iniquities, all the sinful nature which is found in my family. I pray, Father God, that you would remove this. Be the God of our lives. Be the one who leads us. Set us apart for your own righteousness' sake. Right, thank you. In Jesus' mighty name. Thank you for being so kind. Are there any people who are not saved? Please, if so, raise up your hand. We want to pray with you to Jesus. It's very, very good to see that the house of God, we are all saved. God bless you. Amen.